The Adam Carolla Show on Podcast One is the most downloaded show on the entire internet, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh, let's pat ourselves on the back a little there, Adam. He takes his live podcast show on the road to other countries with dates coming up in, May 19th at the Irvine Improv. You're going to be in Amsterdam, the Amsterdam Theater.
Yeah.
The Dublin Club. And you're going to be in London, Leicester City Theater. The tickets are available at adamcarolla.com, and he joins us now. Wow, taking it on the... I mean, that's really going on the road.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a car race in Europe, so whenever I do one of these, like, vintage car events, I just tack on some shows to pay for tires and gas and stuff like that.
How do you decide what kind of guest you have on your podcast?
I don't. Like, I imagine you didn't want me this morning. I just have a guy. You'd much rather Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or somebody like that be here. I have a booker, and the people just show up and they're there.
You're not involved in the process.
Every once in a while I'll run into, Seth MacFarlane at a party, and I'll say, "Would you mind doing my podcast?" And he'll say, "What's a podcart?" And then I go to the other side of the party. But other than that, no.
Who's your dream guest?
Wow. This is like mystery date. I would say like any of the luminaries in the, comedy world, your Steve Martins or, can they be alive or dead, or how far back
Preferably
we going
alive.
here? Preferably alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because the conversation can get kind of stilted with a corpse.
That's true.
I get it.
Don Rickles?
Well, yeah, that'd be good. Although I would still argue, like, probably a better get would be a dead Abraham Lincoln than like a live Jeff Ross or like one of my other, nothing wrong. Jeff knows I love him, but he's made the rounds a few times. He's been on the show a lot.
When I played Abe Lincoln in a Sandler movie, and I curse in my scene, but I wonder, could you imagine Lincoln or George Washington, our founding fathers cursing? Like, could you ever imagine Lincoln sitting around having a beer and cursing?
No, I haven't, but I can't imagine hot chicks making a number two. So I don't have. I just swear. I just swear they don't.
That's an interesting segue.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they do it. They have to.
Does your wife have her own bathroom?
She would like to have her own house, actually. But yeah, she does. And yes, I don't picture her going to the bathroom.
Did you see the fight?
Can you picture Scarlett Johansson just sitting on the toilet, just, oh, God, with like a racing form, just long, planting it like, I'm going to be here for a while? You couldn't picture that, could you?
I did have a moment when I was working, when you saw somebody take the entire USA Today newspaper. Wow. Yeah.
Right, but that was Kevin James. That was not Scarlett Johansson.
Did you see the fight with the Blue Jays and the Rangers where Jose Bautista got hit?
I thought you were talking about like Carnello and
no.
I thought you meant the fight of Stipe or something.
No,
I didn't.
This
was a baseball
fight. I mean, this was almost as good as the one Khan got popped with. But
right.
Let's
watch it.
If they can roll the video here, we'll show Adam. So this is the Rangers and the Blue Jays, and there's a hard slide at second base.
Oh, Drake got clocked. What's he doing? Was he throwing out the first pitch?
No,
how bad a first pitch?
No, that's Jose Bautista.
Why are you wearing a batting helmet to throw out the first pitch? Geez, just wear some Dockers. Don't wear the whole uniform, you idiot. Drake deserved to get punched there. He's Canadian. He doesn't know anything about baseball anyway. Yeah, of course he's Blue Jays. Yeah, that's Canadian, right?
How good a punch is that?
It's a good for baseball.
Yeah.
For baseball, it's a good solid like 9. Like for a boxer, it's low 2s. But for baseball, they throw like men, but they punch like the ladies.
Well, the punch after that by the same guy, so he connects with a right, and then the next time he takes his glove and tries to slap Jose Bautista. Yeah, Drake was going to get hit by his glove.
Yeah.
After
Well,
that.
by the way, the only time you should get hit by a glove is right before you're challenged to a duel.
That's what I was bringing up.
Right.
Remember they used to smack you in the face?
Yes, and then you talk to my seconds, and my seconds should talk to your seconds, and then we'll do it about sunrise. I feel like if I'm dueling, I'm shooting for noonish because at sunup, you know that move where you get up in the morning and you're trying to shave and you can barely see yourself in the mirror, and then you're looking around and you can't find your underpants and stuff. I couldn't imagine holding a musket, attempting to shoot a guy in a top hat while it was still dawn.
But did they make it at noon because the sun would then not be in either guy's eyes?
I think the notion is I'll see you at sunup because I can't wait for this time to duel you. Like I can't get here early enough.
Like I got other stuff to do the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, and I got to hurry up and kill you because I got to drop my kids off at soccer practice. And, but my thing is I'm no good until I get my first cup of coffee in me. And so I could only imagine dueling, like I don't like emailing before my first cup of coffee, but dueling, so my thing is let's duel at noonish would be my thing, like between noon and 2.
But do you think that Aaron Burr, do you think Aaron Burr and Hamilton had to have coffee before they had their duel?
I feel like I think maybe not together. Maybe one went to the Starbucks, the other went to the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. But my thing with the duels would be, my other caveat would be, afternoon, but before 2. Because after 2, I need to take a nap.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss that. And again, I feel like it could affect my dueling.
These are all valid points.
Mm-hmm.
All valid points. Have you ever done, how would stand-up be if comedians had to do it in the morning, not late at night?
Well, it's funny because I've always said it because I used to do morning radio and I used to do late night radio and stand-up and everything. And then it was morning radio. And you find yourself trying to do comedy at 5:59 a.m. or 6:13 in the morning. And it's like, I would tell everybody there's no stand-up club that's open before the streetlights come on. And then I would say to people, they'd go, well, how do you like doing comedy at 7 in the morning? And I'd say, well, I like brisket. I like brandy. I like cigars, but not at 6:45 in the morning. It's a nighttime activity. So I think in general, in terms of your rhythm, comedy is best at night, and that's why every show I do, if it's a stand-up show, starts at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Have you ever drank before you went on?
Morning radio,
or your stand-up routine?
Oh yeah, I've definitely. I mean, I've had this situation where I've had a beer or two. I've certainly had that happen. I've certainly had that happen with my podcast, and I've certainly had that happen when you do a show in Vancouver or someplace in Canada where they're essentially professional alcoholics and they keep sending up shots to the stage and there's 1,000 people. And if you don't do the shot, someone will throw a glove at you or Drake will throw his Blue Jays hat at you or something like that. So it's like, hey, you kind of have to, and then you realize after, your fifth one, maybe it's affecting your performance.
But you have guys, because I don't know if there's stage fright or sometimes you think you're funnier when you've been drinking. So, there's a baseball player, Dennis Eckersley, who saw a video of himself when he had been drinking, and he thought he was the life of the party, and it made him stop drinking because he realized how bad he looked in that moment.
Eckersley, he started drinking after he gave up the home run to, what's his name?
Gibson?
Gibson, yeah. I've done that thing where people said, you should see yourself or hear yourself, when you've really had a few, and I did, and it really made me. The way I dealt with it was just I had to drink while I was well, not more, but just while I was watching myself. You know what I mean? Just to take the edge off. So Eckersley should have had a beer while he was watching himself drunk.
If we had, let's say we had elimination with boxing with comedians, how would you think about that?
Elimination.
Yeah. So give me the top 5 comedians that if they got into the ring might do some damage, right? So give that some thought.
Okay.
This is where we do a tease.
Oh, we're doing a tease.
And then I go to commercial break.
All right. Well, I still got Jeff Ross on that list, right?
Well, no,
I
you're
don't
not
want to
saying-
give it away. Okay.
Don't
all right.
you,
You're right.
You
No,
work in this business, don't
no,
you know
no,
what
I
a
shouldn't.
tease is?
All right, I'll come up with another one.
Okay. We have to come up with 4 or 5.
Yeah, no, I'll come up with it. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back with Adam Carolla, the actor.
Is Nipsey Russell still alive?
I don't
want to step on it. I just want to know.
We can Google that during the break. Actor, director, comedian, TV, radio personality, and yes, as he likes to point out, the most downloaded show on the entire internet, his podcast, according to the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Batista the guy who punched Drake?
No, Batista is Drake. He's the one who looks like
Well, why don't we just call him Drake then? Why are we calling him Batista?
because his name is Batista.
Oh, so Drake's like his rap name. Everyone's got a rap name, you know what I mean? Like, what's 50 Cent's real name, you know what I mean? Batista? These guys with their rap names, you know, Snoop Dogg's not even his name. So Batista is what's on his birth certificate.
Yes.
Drake is what he goes by when he hits the
That's
stage.
his rapper name. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, if you know, I don't want to tell you how to do your show, but I think it's confusing to the audience when you're, just pick a name and he's known by. Again, what's 50 Cent's real names? You guys know, right?
His last name's Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah, Curtis Jackson.
Curtis Jackson.
But if you just start saying Curtis Jackson, your audience eyes would be rolling in the back of your head. But 50 Cent, Drake.
Batista.
But Drake, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to tell you how to communicate, but you guys understand what I'm talking about. The old man is using the guy's maiden name, and the audience is confused. The guy goes to throw out a first pitch, he gets clocked, and now you're all over the road. All right, let's just move on.
His name is Adam Carolla, and he's actor, director, comedian, TV, radio personality. You collect cars. We were talking about Jay Leno during the commercial break. So he's got 160?
60-something cars, yeah.
But when you collect, you're collecting the vintage race cars. So stuff on the track. Jay gets stuff that he's going to drive on the streets, and you're
yes.
on the track.
Yes. I always thought, I collect the race cars or the vintage race cars, a lot of Paul Newman old race cars, and then he collects like Stanley Steamers and Duesenbergs and stuff. And I always think it'd be funny. And I told Jay this, but he didn't think it was funny. But I said to him, if a kid writes remember when you were a kid, you'd write a book report or a report on Hank Aaron. I'm going to write the story of Hank Aaron. I said, 100 years from now, when some kid writes a report on you and they turn it in and we realize you died in a steam car accident, the teacher's going to go, wait a minute, they had hovercrafts when he died in 2041. And it's like, no, he died in a steam car.
Boy,
like they're going to go, no, you got your genres all screwed up.
Why would Jay not think that was funny?
I think because it involved his demise.
Yeah,
I think probably, but I think as a comedian, you have to take your mortality out of it and just focus on the purity of the notion that a guy in 2035 or 40 or whenever Jay's going dies in a steam car incident.
Do you think if you have to explain it this much that maybe it's lacking something?
Yeah, I would say almost anything that needs to really be broken down molecule by molecule, especially a joke, it probably loses some of its steam pardon the pun, at a certain point.
All right, so if I get the toughest comedians.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the toughest comedians. Now, are we talking about comedic actors? Or are we talking about stand-up comedians?
It can be wherever you want to go. Like if you want Ben Stiller in there, then put Ben Stiller in there.
Okay.
You want Will Ferrell in there? Like who would be like a tough guy that might make you a little nervous?
Well, I mean, they're your sort of Joe Rogans of the world who obviously do the comedy and actually do the MMA stuff.
How would you do against Rogan boxing?
I think I'd do well boxing.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But then once.
Yeah, you get down on the ground.
Well, I would take it to the ground orally just to prevent, any further problem. Okay. When I say take it to the ground. That's the way I roll.
I got to continue this show just to let you know.
Oh, well, you asked me, take it to the ground. That's how I take it to the ground. Then there's number 2. I could be me if it's just a hands thing, but if it's just boxing, it's sort of between me and Elaine Boozler. I'd say in the hands. I mean, if it's just hands, again, if we're rolling, she can't hang. But if it's just the hands, talking about just striking, she's unorthodox. Obviously, the big hair is a distraction and also offers a certain degree of protection for her. But
Paula Poundstone might sneaky,
She's in my top 8,
wiry,
but not.
It's wispy.
Well, she'll catch you off guard in many facets of her life. You know what I mean? It's not just a pugilism.
You and Kimmel ever fight?
Well, we'd fight over jokes on occasion.
But like if you never got close, like the Man Show, you never got close to coming to blows.
No, I mean, one time I was going to throw one of my Emmys at him when he upset me,
Wow.
but other than that, no. No, I met Jimmy. I taught Jimmy. He was doing the radio stunt, so I was teaching him how to box, and we sat around and drank Snapples all day and talked comedy, and I didn't teach him a thing, and he got his ass whooped, and but a friendship was made. So no, he's not a good boxer.
But
I was a good boxer technically, but I didn't like getting punched.
I'm on your podcast
Yeah.
today. But did you book me?
Somebody booked you. Yes.
When were you told that I was going to be on your podcast?
Oh, you just told me.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Were you guys here for that?
Are you going to prepare for this?
Well, I thought this is kind of what this was.
Well, no. Are you just going to take this and put it on your podcast?
Are we doing something? We're
Today.
doing. Oh,
I'm
This
I'm
is
doing
just
your
like kind of a friendly hang with Dan.
I'm doing your podcast today.
Yes, I'm going to interview you. But no, I'm not going to prepare.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I shouldn't either.
No, I'm not. I mean, yeah, when we get, good guests, obviously there's some preparation that goes along. But this is really just,
Look,
hey, I'm doing his show. And
You're
while you're there,
doing me a favor, and I'm doing you a favor that I didn't really want you on, and you didn't want me on.
Well, it's not that we didn't want each other on, but it's as I've explained to Kimmel a few times, when you go and do his show and you sit in your dressing room and you look at pictures of President Obama shaking Jimmy's hand, and then there's Brad Pitt, and then there's the First Lady, and then there's Gandhi and everybody else, and all you do is look around and you go, wow, I bet they wish they had all these people here before. And I said, could you put
he's
up
Adam Carolla, and we'll
Dan, I'm saying put one
I know,
picture,
I gotta say
put
goodbye.
a picture of Tom Arnold.
I gotta
put one
say
picture
goodbye.
of Tom Arnold up, so I feel better about myself.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.